it's Miss Terry. I usually do the children's program, but today I am going to be doing an adult decorating program. And the program is how to design Halloween decor using the dollar store. So I have been doing Halloween decorating for, I don't know, probably 20 years. And of course, I don't like to spend money. Who does? So I've learned that I go to Dollar Tree, right around September, and I start stocking up on their Halloween decorations. And some of them are actually quite good. So the last couple years, I have started making my own decorations, and it ends up that they're actually better, I think, than the ones that you buy in the store, which are kind of cheap. They may not have all the bells and whistles, like the noises and stuff, but I think that they look a lot better, and I think they last a lot longer. And I think they're scarier. So a couple of things. Whenever I go, I make sure that I stock up on these eyeballs. They're like, I guess they're kind of like the, just a little balls that look like eyeballs, and you can get, I think, like a dozen for $1. So I stock up on those. I actually have a whole bin of them. And what you can do with them is, let me put that down there. You can actually put holes in the bottom of them. I don't know if I have any in here that has a hole, but it doesn't look like it. You can put holes into the bottom of them and actually take one of the lights that you can also buy at the Dollar Tree. I think they're 2 for $1. And you can stick it through the hole and it'll be like light up eyeballs. And I do that, and I stick them all over my mantle. Another thing that you can do with eyeballs is you can take cheap, well, I guess they're not real cheap. You can't get this at the dollar store, but it's still pretty inexpensive. I bought this piece of wood at Home Depot, and then a little bottom type finial thing that you can get for like a finishing for a stairwell. And then I think this whole thing maybe cost me $5. And then I painted both of them black, and I screwed them together, and I made a little hole in the top. And you can sit your eyeball in that as well if you want to. And if you don't think that's enough, well, go to the dollar store. And they have stuff like this, which I think these are awesome. You can do so much with them. This is I guess a raven or a crow that's a skeleton. And what I like to do with it is, for my little finial thing, or I will have it sit on top, and then I will put the ball right there. So it's like it laid an eyeball. Some of them I will sit on top of my cabinet that's in my living room, and I'll have them have it in their mouth. And I'll just use like a double stick tape or a glue dot. That's why this one doesn't want to stay. I don't have a glue dot with me. But you'll just stick it in their mouth like this, and they'll sit there like this with it in their mouth. So that's, really cheap decor. And this one actually does have a hole in it, but it has a little flame thing caught inside of it, which sometimes does happen. If I can get it out, I can show you what I was talking about. I got it out. Now let's see if we can find one of these that works. There we go. So see, there's a hole that I drilled. You stick it on top, and now you have a glowing eyeball. And it's really better if you can get these ones that kind of flicker like they're a real fire, because then you have a flickering lighted eyeball, and it's really cool. I get every kind of like skeleton thing that they have. So I have the spider skeleton as well. And I'll just take another one of these. This is a shorter one, so it was probably a little less expensive. And I'll just set it there like this. And it kind of looks like, you know, a whole thing. I put it on the top of my piano at home. And it kind of looks like a whole like thing of science experiments. I also get, sometimes they have the little rubber mask there for $1. And I got this one that looks kind of like a skeleton pirate. And what you can do with this is you can get a glass jar. It's better if it has a top on it, but you don't have to have a top. It's just better if it does. And you can put this in like this, where it's facing out, and you can fill it with water, and you can put a little bit of food coloring in there. I usually use like a green or a blue, and then you can put some kind of light. Like I have a light that changes color, and I put the light behind it. You can even use like one of these lights if that's all you have. It'll still light it up. And you put it behind there, and it looks like, you know, somebody's head that's in formaldehyde or something, like a science experiment. It's really cool. And this was only like $1 or $2 at the Dollar Tree. So if you already have a jar, you don't have to buy that. So, and I think the Dollar Tree actually has jars, so you could use a jar from there, and it'd be like $2. Another thing that I did from the Dollar Tree, some of it, is if you have, most of you have, you know, the canning jars, like the ball jars at home. And if you have a bigger one or even a smaller one, this is a cool thing to do. You can take the eyeballs, and you can take cobwebs that you buy at the dollar store for $1. And it has the spiders with it, the little plastic spiders. And you can put cobwebs, and then the eyeballs, and then more cobwebs, and then spiders inside. And you can make a jar like this. And the Dollar Tree also has, around Christmas time, so you have to kind of think ahead. They might have it now too. They might have orange ones, but they'll have lights that are battery powered. And I get those, and I'll put those in here along with the batting. And then you light it up, and you have a lit up jar of spiders and eyeballs. Cool, huh? And that's, you know, that was like less than probably $2 when you consider that I'm reusing the eyeballs with other things as well. You can also, a lot of times they sell witches hats like this, you know, just really cheap ones. You can take some fishing line if you have it, and you can hang these up by your door where it looks like they're just floating hats. You could also take some of the lights, and you can put it inside and have it hanging from the door lit if you want. I've done that before. They also a lot of times have the long candles that are lit like this. And I take those and I do like a Harry Potter effect where I put the clear fishing line on them, and I hang them at different lengths at my front door so it looks like there's floating candles there, and that's a really cool effect. And that it doesn't cost anything hardly. And my last thing that I do, the one that I'm really proud of, is Eddie. This is Eddie. Now Eddie the skeleton, he costs quite a bit more. I got him at I think Target or Michael's. I used my 40% off coupon that you always get from Michael's, so he was quite a bit more. But if you have a skeleton at home that's a smaller skeleton, you can go to the dollar store and you can buy these little baskets that are supposed to be for dirty clothes, but nobody has this small of dirty clothes at home. These things don't hold anything. But you can buy 2 of them, and they're in like red and blue, green colors. But you can bring them home and you'll rough them up with a sandpaper and you can paint them. And like I said, I painted mine black. You can paint them black or, you know, metal color, gray or whatever. And it'll take 2 coats of the color. And then you can put Eddie in there or whatever you name your skeleton. And then I also got this cheap chain from the Dollar Tree. And I just attached it with these ties, like the kind of ties that the police use or that you use around the house. I just used it on here. And then you can hang it, and it looks like, you know, somebody that's been in there forever and in a torture chamber or whatever. And it looks really cool. So that is my take on doing Halloween cheaply using the dollar store and Home Depot. Home Depot, you can find lots of things that you look at and you can think and say, hey, I could make this into something. And you wouldn't normally use it for that, but I've made lots of costumes for Dragon Con and stuff like that using stuff from Home Depot in the pipe department, no less. So as you can see behind me, I have Ghost. I made those from Home Depot buckets and gauze. So, I mean, the blanket over here is my daughter's blanket. And now he's a monster. So there's all kinds of things that you can use that do not cost money or cost very little, that you can find around the house or find at the Dollar Tree or find at Home Depot. So it doesn't have to cost an arm and a leg to decorate for Halloween. So thank you for joining me for my decor using Dollar Tree, and I'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.